I think this place is amazing. It's one of the most amazing places I've come across within Strid Wood. Because actually, it's the most artificial of the places, of the spaces. It's an abandoned Christmas tree plantation. And there's nothing kind of sadder than an abandoned Christmas tree plantation. Although I imagine that the trees are pretty happy about being abandoned. But what happened was that Bolton Abbey had this business plan to grow trees of all these different species and sell them at Christmas time. And the plan failed. The business venture didn't go through. And so what you're left with here are acres and acres of Christmas trees, many different species, all different greens, different hues, and also different ages too, from these little infant firs here to these big, big pines. And the thing that it reminded me of most of all was school. It reminded me of a school where you've got all these different ages at school, year 7, year 8, prefects, head boys, head girls, a sixth form. Only it's a school where no child is ever able to leave it. And I thought that was the kind of the nub of the sadness of this area, but also some of the pleasure of it, standing in rows as they are. And so the poem is called An Abandoned Christmas Tree Plantation, and it's written in the form of a pontoon, which is a Malayan form in origin. It's quite complex. There's lots of repeating lines. And the great thing about a pontoon, by the way, if you're a poet, is this. If you're writing a 20-line pontoon, you don't have to write 20 lines. You only have to write 10, because you repeat them. But you have to weave them very carefully. The poem has to have clarity, has to make sense. So if ever you're sitting down to write one of these out, I would recommend that you try to use lines that are kind of end-stop, that are sentences in themselves, and then weave them around and see how they sound, and then see what comes out. But the one here, I'll read now. An abandoned Christmas tree plantation. We are waiting for a Christmas that never came. Each species a friend of some needle hue. All the years, heights and postures are present like children in a school that no child ever leaves. Each species a friend of some needle hue. Those adolescent spruces prickle with boredom like children in a school that no child ever leaves. The infant firs sing to themselves in the snow. The prefect pines, sky high, peer down unmoved. Those adolescent spruces prickle with boredom. The infant firs sing to themselves in the snow. We speak through the wind, and only then in murmurs. Stretch our limbs into the wind to catch at birds. The prefect pines, sky high, peer down unmoved, bartering a bullfinch song for a goldfinch chime. We speak through the wind, and only then in murmurs. By dusk we are whispers and secret playtime rhymes. We stretch our limbs into the wind and catch at birds. Our tree rings are school bells that peal in December, bartering a bullfinch song for a goldfinch chime. By dusk we are whispers and secret playtime rhymes. All the years, heights and postures are present. Our tree rings are school bells that peal for December. We are waiting for a Christmas that will never come.